Hello, my friends! The happy hand, the message of hope in the book of Revelation, the heavenly Jerusalem. We don't talk about it enough or in a childish way. In the film Stargate, we see a city built on a rock that moves in space. This interpretation is just good for a science fiction movie. So, heavenly Jerusalem, what is it? The structure of the universe. For several months, I have been penetrated by thoughts that come to my mind about the structure of the universe. They come to me either in a silent cognition state or by talking to an audience that seems receptive in the Extasium. Here's what they tell me. The universe would not be made only of four dimensions, as they appears to our senses, but of 10 dimensions. 9 would be materials on our side of the world. The 10th would be on the other side of life. A parallel universe, the global consciousness, God. In fact, the order would be reversed. The first can only be God. It is our earthly perception that calls it the 10th. Each of these dimensions would include many intermediate levels. Beyond the four laws, their access is totally impossible by material means. Until the ninth, some can access it voluntarily through deep meditation practice or involuntarily, without ever being able to decide which dimension to reach. You just noticed when you go down that you were more or less high. The 10th is only very rarely accessible and only if called. Just as we are constantly in four dimensions worth of bath in other without being aware of each. These various dimensions are related to the deep symbolism of the numbers from 1 to 10 and the fact that we have 10 fingers in our hands. Thus, when one is in a phase of organization, of order, one is in a relation more particularly with the sixth dimension, in a phase of creation with the seventh, and in love with the eighth, etc. Obviously, this is a somewhat simplistic explanation for better understanding. For example, in the four dimensions, if you are sitting or lying without moving to wait, you are more particularly in relation to time. While being in the others, if you walk, it's the length that dominates. Likewise, if you climb, it's the height. But we are still in the four dimensions. Intermediate levels should not be considered in terms of value, but in terms of difference. So, in our universe, if we take the human being as a benchmark, it's obvious that insects don't live at the same levels as ours, and bacteria don't live at the level of insects either. In the other direction, we are not at the same level as the solar system, which is not at the level of our galaxy, the Milky Way, which is not at the level of the universe either. Yet, all these levels are in the four dimensions. Only time is fully present in all dimensions, but his perception is not the same whether you are a bacterial or galaxy. In the 10th, time still exists, but so slowed down that it seems to be a perpetual presence. However, he's still moving on. The size of the objects seems to us more or less large depending on the dimension and level in which we are. So our body, which seems so small compared to the universe, is not really small. Let's go down to the level of organs and then down to the cells, which is already much bigger. At the level of the DNA, The point of view seems to us to be immense. Let's go down again at the level of the atom and then at the level of the particles that make up its nucleus. I believe that at this level there is not much to envy the entire universe. We are our universe full of emptiness without realizing it. Seen from the 10th dimension, the universe doesn't seem bigger than our own body. I had two very revealing visions. In the first, I felt like an entire galaxy. It was a spherical galaxy made up of myriads of stars. It was neither surprising, nor strange, nor glorious. I was a galaxy. Period. Mundane at the limit, like being who you are every day. In the second, I perceived the whole universe. It appeared to me as a large body, very different from what you see when you raise your head on a dark night in nature. Very different even from what we pick up from the most powerful telescopes. It was like I was visualizing the energy fields that come out of stars or galaxies, as if the gravitation forces appeared forming a kind of skin. Perhaps also did I pierce the mysterious dark matter? Otherwise, I perceived that each grain of matter, each atom was connected to the 10th dimension. In our time, we can better understand how. It would be like pulses linked to a super, hyper, mega, giga, tera computer located and constituting the parallel universe of the 10th dimension. This implies that everything, without exception, remains under control. This recalled what Jesus said of God knowing everything from the smallest bird to the smallest twig. A few years after these thoughts came to me, reading a scientific magazine, which I do regularly, I discovered an article along these lines. Around 2005, I even saw a television documentary on Channel 5 that developed the same concept and reported on research in that direction. Until Einstein's time, Euclidean mathematics was known to explain the universe. Then, by deepening the matter beyond the atom, to explain what is happening at the level of the particles constituting its nucleus, the scientists develop quantum mechanics. However, it doesn't work the same way. The rules are different. Since discovery, in the early 20th century, researchers have been trying to find a new form of mathematics to link the two knowns. Several theories were found and then abandoned. But a current is developing around what has been called the strings and superstrings theory. In this theory, scientists also speak about a 10-dimensional universe. Some say it's 11 and more. They talk about atoms that would unfold like a rope in 6 dimensions and that would be linked to a parallel universe. It's what I experienced and what came to my mind. But in my experience, there are only 10 dimensions, and the parallel universe has no materiality. It is only pure consciousness, what institutional scientists refuse to consider. However, a number, depending on their discoveries, think there is an intelligence that rules the universe. This is what is called intelligent design, which should not be confused with creationism, which refers to a strict and literal primary interpretation of the Bible.